This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. When I'm trying to go to sleep sometimes, it feels like my brain just will not shut it up. Suddenly, I'm like the most annoying person on the planet, and every single cringe or embarrassing thing I've ever done is loudly floating around in my brain. If you can relate, therapy is a great way to talk it through, get it all out of your head so you can finally rest easy. If you've heard my other podcast, then you know I'm a therapy girly for real, okay? Therapy's number one advocate. It's helped me see my own issues and get out of my own way in life. If you've ever considered therapy but didn't quite know where to start, give BetterHelp a go. It's all online and super flexible, so it can easily accommodate your busy schedule. All you got to do is fill out a quick little questionnaire to be matched with a licensed therapist. And if you're not feeling that therapist for any reason, you can switch to a new one at any time for no additional charge. Get a break from your thoughts with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/BPLP today to get 10% off your first month. That's betterhelp.com/BPLP. Welcome to Black People Love Paramore, a podcast where we dive into the common and uncommon interests of Black people in order to help Black people feel seen. Please feel free to donate to the show at the link in the show notes, and please rate us and write us a review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, 5 stars only, because we are 5-star bitches. We're D.O. Gotti. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like, comment, subscribe, and all of those things. And if you really like the show, join the Patreon family at patreon.com/Black People Love Paramore. On today's Patreon exclusive episode, we'll be making the case for why the Unfriendly Black Hotties need to be made into a spinoff like yesterday, who we would cast, and more. So join us over there after you finish this episode. I am your host, Sequoia, and today joining me to talk about Mean Girls, we have my friends, Will Lawson and Jewel Wicker. Thank you for joining, y'all.
Woo, thanks for having me.
Welcome to the show, Will. You have not been on yet. Y'all used to Jewel, so I won't have her introduce herself. But Will, you please tell the people about yourself.
My name is Will. Longtime listener, new guest.
Period.
Longtime internet friend who I just met in person for the first time at the Beyonce concert.
Beyonce brought us together.
Oh, did y'all meet at Beyonce?
Will was just behind me. I heard somebody say Sequoia, and I turned around and I was like, look at Will. That's Will.
The Renaissance Tour is
So
bringing
I
people
love
from
that.
the internet into real life. Look at Beyonce's impact.
I love that. I love that.
And now we on the show. You know, we're bridging the gap even further at this point. So that's what it is.
Exactly.
Do you want to tell him anything, Will, or you just gonna tell him your name?
I don't know what else is there. I am a child of pop culture. There you go. I live on the internet.
You are a child of pop culture. We'll be watching stuff.
I do.
We'll be watching the movies, the TV. We'll seen it.
It's a stressful life to lead, but somebody's got to do it.
Are you still doing your Twitter account where you like review things that you watch?
I do sometimes. It's will be watching. And I did that to spare y'all because I was putting it all on my normal account, which is IMW Law on all the things. But I was putting it on my normal account. I feel like people were real annoyed or would get annoyed if it was like TV and movies every 6 seconds in pop culture. But, you know, it is what it is.
You know how much bullshit niggas be tweeting?
That is true.
Let me tell you something.
That is
Don't be saying nothing worth reading.
Don't be
That's
saying nothing. So we could take a couple little reviews of some TV and some movies.
That is true.
Okay. So before we get into talking about Mean Girls, we have In My Defense. In My Defense is our segment where we bring one of our unpopular opinions and defend it for you all. I also forgot to mention I'm a little sick, so that's why I sound like this. Moving on to In My Defense. I have one this week, but I would like to hear y'all's. Mine is Mean Girls related, so I'm going to save it so that we can kind of segue into Mean Girls, but I would like to hear y'all's.
I can go. It's funny because I actually was going to do one that I knew was going to shake the table, but I took it back. I like teased that it has something to do with Iggy Azalea, but I really have to stay 16,000 feet away from her after that Tory Lanez letter. So yeah. I'm not even going to put myself out on the internet like that anymore, but that was what it was going to be. There's growth happening here. The other one is I beef with Telfar deep. and heavy because I have their bags. I have the clear one now and everything.
Okay.
My issue with them is why is there no clasp, no zipper, no button? That bag just says still for me. I have not worn the small one anywhere because it just stresses me out that I'm not putting a wallet in there. I'm not putting anything valuable in that bag.
Okay.
You can barely fit the wallet in there anyway.
That is true.
You
I just need them. Just put a little magnetic clasp in there because I know they're not going to give us a zipper.
The clear one doesn't have that? Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Oh, wow. I'm glad I didn't get the clear one because I do love the clear one. Yeah, mine has a clasp though.
It just stays open.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's trifling.
Well, that makes sense. I would like a clasp. That makes sense. Mm-hmm.
Are you ready for mine?
Jewel, yes.
Well, it's funny because before she pressed play, I asked Sequoia to help me to figure out what one of my controversial opinions was. And she said, every single man that I like is controversial with the exception of my boyfriend. And
I'm glad you put that caveat.
Because this one went left.
I don't believe it at this point. The way you drag my taste, I think you just saying that because you like him, because y'all friends.
I do like him.
I don't buy it.
Sequoia, she trying to start mess at this point.
So I'm a pivot. Mine is I'll make mine, Rachel. I don't know if this is in my defense though. I don't know if I was the only one that felt like this. I feel like Rachel McAdams should have been like A-list top billing for like still to this day. Like that's how I felt about her during the Mean Girls era. Like I felt like this is an actress. Truly. This is the range because the same year that she was in Mean Girls, she also did The Notebook. My girl was doing. She was giving us range, and I really feel like we should. Why we don't see her no more? Yeah. Where is she?
That is true.
And where is the top billing?
We do see her. Like she's in Doctor Strange.
That's right.
She's in Marvel. Right. She's a Marvel girly right
now. Fair. That's fair. That's fair.
But she was.
I just feel like we should get like a. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I agree.
She had a nice little run. She did all the good dramatic rom-coms in that time. I like that. That's a white lady I enjoy.
I want to see more Rachel McAdams rom-coms. I want to see that. Maybe some dramas starring Rachel McAdams. That's what I want.
I'll take that.
I truly love this in my defense versus the other one. All very, very different ones.
Oh yeah, because mine was very like tame. That was it. That's all I got.
I love that.
Right. These are pretty tame. Now I feel like mine might spice it up a little bit.
Maybe that was the goal. Maybe that was the goal. No smoke for us, all smoke for you.
Right, per usual. That's why I stopped telling y'all my defenses, because y'all always try to have me get the smoke and y'all didn't want no smoke, and I don't like it. So I'll take some smoke this time. I've never said this one out loud to anybody but my boyfriend. And so I don't really know how it's gonna be taken because he just be listening. He just be hearing me run my mouth and he just be listening. That's it. Amy Poehler's character, Regina George's mom in Mean Girls, was a better mom than Katie's mom and most moms, if we keeping it a buck.
Elaborate.
I would have to say.
I don't disagree.
You said what?
I don't disagree.
Okay, great. Because I just feel like I would rather be the mom that is in the know with what's going on with my daughter. If she needs some condoms, if you want a little bit of alcohol, if you're going to drink, you might as well do it in the house. I hear all these notions. I said, you know what? That sounds like safe, good, like involved. I know that teenagers do this shit anyways, and therefore I would much rather have visibility over the shit than for you to go and have unprotected sex or crash a car drunk driving or something of the sort, which lots of teenagers do end up doing. Versus Katie's mom, who didn't know what the fuck was going on in her daughter's life, was too busy with Ladysmith Black Mambazo to know what the hell was going on with her daughter. Daughter is a whole new person. You don't even know that because where the hell are you at?
I don't have no problem with the mama, but I do think yes, be in the know and be like a parent that your kids can talk to. I don't know that I need to swing the bedroom door open while you about to hump your boyfriend, and I'm like, God, I love you guys. You need a condom. No, because you shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be doing that in my house while I'm just roaming the halls. That's what is going on here. Have some decorum.
Truly,
So I
So
think
you
we
didn't
need to
tell
have
me.
some.
So
Huh?
you never. So
Sequoia?
you never did that. You never.
No.
You never had sex in your parents' home while they were home.
Ooh.
Did I what?
That is
Okay.
crazy.
I guess I'm sorry.
You thought I
Are
said
we
I did that?
projecting?
I
You
thought
thought I
that
said
was
I did
normal.
that?
I thought that was normal. So y'all telling me that that's not what y'all did as teenagers ever?
Who, me?
Yeah, y'all. Neither of y'all ever did that as teenagers.
I may not as a teenager. I was more of a Katie than I was a Regina. So I didn't. So I wasn't in the bed doing nothing but sleeping. Shout out to Mama Dukes out there.
I was 17. I just want to point out I was 17 to 18, but still,
Oh,
I was at the
okay.
parents' house. Parents was home.
They were home.
Yeah.
Now
How big
I
was the
maybe not in
house?
high school, but I definitely have had a little coitus situation, a little adulter, whilst my mother was in the bedroom below.
See,
it does happen. I feel like if you're with a partner in close quarters,
If you're an adult, I can see that. Obviously, you're at the point. What do you think we doing? But yeah, no, I never did that. So that
you know what? I'm gonna save this one story for the Patreon, y'all, because I have one really spicy story that I do want to share, but I'm gonna share.
Sequoia was tearing it up in the house. Okay,
Lord have
go over
mercy,
there, and you can get to it. We're gonna move on. Song of the week. I have a song. What songs y'all got?
Okay, cool.
Well, you can start.
You want me to go with mine? Yeah, Will, go ahead.
My song, which I know Sequoia also enjoys, is this cute little girl group, Dream. He Loves You Not. A bop. Bop. That is a song that literally will come on shuffle in a playlist while I have my windows down on the 101. And I know people see me rolling up next to them. Like, who is this nigga sitting here listening to this cute little pop song from the early 2000s? But that song, no flaws. No flaws.
No flaws. Flawless song.
That's a good song.
And Diddy, I'm glad that you gave them people back their damn publishing rights. I hope Dream makes some money off that. I'm gonna run that shit up just so they can get some money because I know they need it.
I haven't read about that, but I'm skeptical. But okay.
It said everybody hasn't been reached out to, so I'm wondering how. I know it would be the big ones that he's like close to, like obviously a Mace, a Faith, but like, are we trickling that down to the small ones?
To a Dream,
I just want
to
to
a
read
Danity
the fine
Kane.
print.
Ooh.
Yeah, I want to read the fine print because from my understanding, we were close to the rights being restored to them automatically. So I just wonder if this was
that's
Diddy about to put an album out.
Wow.
So I'm just skeptical. I'm just
this is
because we're about to put an album out, and I like Diddy, and I'm gonna listen to the album because I like Diddy albums now. But I just said I'm skeptical. That's all I said.
That's fair.
I like that song. No, that's a good song.
That's a really good song.
Mine was gonna be "Obsessed" by the Mariah Carey in the name of Mean Girls. Why are you so obsessed with me?
Yes.
And dragging Eminem because that's always, why not?
Was dragging that nigga by his do-rag. I loved it.
I mean, dressed like him to drag him.
It's just crazy because I can't say too much against this young man as someone from my hometown. But saying dragging him by his do-rag is crazy because why is he... Which, growing up in Detroit, lots of white people like Eminem wearing do-rags. Some of them over the course of time do manage to get that hair to wave up. I'm not even going to hold you. Lots of white boys in high school got that hair texture to wave up. I'm not even going to hold you. It is possible depending on like hair texture. There's one I can think of right now. Thinking of him right now. Little ginger, little waves. Hope he's doing well.
Oh, that's wild. I ain't never met a white boy with waves a day in my black ass life. Not once.
It has happened.
I feel like that. Never mind. I'm not going to say that on this.
Okay.
Oh.
You can save it for the Patreon as well. That's a good song. I have a song this week because of Mean Girls as well, and it is "Past the Dutch" by one Miss Missy Elliott. Just walking through the halls. Absolutely. It's just the song just gives me. It's like a Pavlovian reaction, where like ring the bell, you start salivating. As soon as I hear it, I want to strut down a high school hallway because that
is what Mean Girls did for me in 2004
That's fair.
as a child.
I think that's fair.
Beautiful song choice in the movie.
What a time.
Just
2004. What a time. Wow.
It really was. Nothing feels like 2003, 2004. Nothing feels like that. Like that was a great time in music and pop culture and history. Like a really good time.
I was 12 in 2004. I would have had my first little Nokia. Okay. I would have had my first little cell phone. I would have been in middle school. I'd have been watching Mean Girls. I'd have been arguing with my friends and having little catty beefs. I'd have been having a time.
Naturally. Little catty.
Absolutely.
Those beefs felt like world-ending dramas back in the day.
They really did. No, for real.
We used to have y'all ever heard of a lemon squeeze?
No.
I don't know where my friends got that from in middle school and high school, but we would, because it was a group of us, and whenever we would have drama, they would be like, we need to have a lemon squeeze. We need to come together and have a lemon squeeze so we can get all the bitterness out.
That is some southern country stuff.
That is what my mother was explaining this to my boyfriend the other day. She said it sounds like a good idea. The only issue is that Jewel would leave one way and she would come back enraged because the lemon squeeze, because it was like a mature idea, but we never had we didn't have the emotional intelligence to execute it. Yeah. So we would just go in there and yell at each other and then leave more mad than we came in. It was always chaotic.
They was having basketball wife level sit downs in middle school. Little Ponderosa.
Because we could have been on a VIP. Because we really could have been. You know what I'm saying? We really could have had a little show.
That is
what was it? What was that show about the high school dancers on MTV? You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yes. I don't remember the name, but yes. Dang. Hit the Floor? Was it Hit the Floor?
It wasn't Hit the Floor. Hit the Floor was a different show, but it was it was like high school. That could have been us.
Jewel stomping back home, pissed.
From the lemon squeeze.
Have a lemon squeeze. I'm going to tell, next time me and my friends arguing about something, or we done got into it a little bit, I'm going to tell you, Jewel, let's have a lemon
Don't text me about it.
And she's still going to be pissed at this big age. Jewel's still going to be pissed at the end of the lemon squeeze. So
still conflict averse at this big age. 15 years later, still don't like conflict.
Wow. That's okay. We'll squeeze all the bitterness out. Moving on. Mean Girls. Let's chat Mean Girls. Before we talk about it, let me explain what Mean Girls is for anybody who does not know, per usual from Wikipedia. Mean Girls is a 2004 American teen comedy film directed by Mark Waters, written by Tina Fey, and starring Lindsay Lohan, Rachel McAdams, Lacey Cabert. Is it Cabert or Cabur or Cabet? I don't know. Amanda Seyfried, and her film acting debut, I would like to point out.
Was it?
Tim, that's what, according to Wikipedia, Tim Meadows, Anna Gasteyer, Amy Poehler, and Tina Fey. Supporting cast includes Lizzie Kaplan, Jonathan Bennett, Danielle Franzese, and Neil Flynn. The screenplay is based in part on Rosalind Wiseman's 2002 book, Queen Bees and Wannabes, which describes female high school social cliques, school bullying, and the damaging effects they can have on teenagers. Faye also drew from her own experience in the Upper Darby High School as an inspiration for some of the concepts of the film. The plot centers on naive teenager Caddy Heron navigating her way through social hierarchy of modern American high school after years of her parents homeschooling her while conducting research in Africa. Katie is new and still finding her way in high school. I don't remember if I said Katie or Caddy, but y'all know what the fuck I meant.
I can't get. Who would have thought that we would have got from Mean Girls to playing the hell out of what's that girl name? The Theranos.
Katie Holmes, is that her name?
No, Theranos. The girl.
Is that her? Is Katie Holmes?
Elizabeth Holmes.
No,
Elizabeth Holmes. Whatever.
Katie Holmes.
It's Elizabeth. Who would have thought we would have? Who would have thought we would have got from Mean Girls to that scene of her dancing to "How to Love" by Lil Wayne? Did y'all watch that show?
That is insane. That series stresses me out.
You didn't watch it, Sequoia?
I tried because it's very much up my alley, and I just didn't like it. Like after the first episode, I was like, I'm not into this. But I kept hearing great things. Maybe I'll try again.
That scene of her dancing to Lil Wayne is the cringiest thing. It's so bad, but I can't turn away.
At a baseline, I'm gonna check that out because I need to know the context as to why she was dancing.
There's really no legitimate explanation for why that lady is dancing the way that she is so you're gonna watch it and still be confused.
Okay, so I just won't watch it. I'll spare myself. Favorite characters? Do y'all have some favorite characters from this film. I have 3 that I have listed here.
Okay, you go first.
Okay. I have Gretchen is my favorite character from the film. Obviously, I feel like that's an unpopular one too, but okay.
I feel like I always identified with Gretchen in a way that never made sense. But yes, I love Gretchen.
I won't say I identified, but I definitely like her the best. Mr. Duvall and Kevin Napoor. Those are my 3.
Come on, people of color on the cast.
From the film. Absolutely. We getting the people of color on the cast. Is Gretchen a person of color? Damn.
No. But not her. The other two. She was she's a, That's a good
Gretchen. She was rich. She didn't have no, you know what I'm saying? She was rich. She had no worries.
Mm-hmm.
It's just something about bragging about the inventor of toaster strudel that tickles my spirit. Like,
it's very funny.
Because
if you think that if my father wasn't the inventor of toaster strudels that I wouldn't say it every chance I got.
Like, that is crazy. And whoever wrote this, and specifically, because that is one of the most random things.
It's specific.
So specific. It's not Pop-Tarts.
Very specific.
It's toaster strudels. Okay.
Oh, Jesus Christ. But yes, Gretchen definitely on the list. You know what's crazy is whilst a lot of people in this cast are like funny, there's so many just characters that are not necessarily likable. Like, I wouldn't necessarily want to hang out with any of these people.
Yeah.
Like her little friends Damien and Janice, like, I don't want to talk to them. Like, they just
wouldn't hang out with them either. I'm so sorry.
I don't know why people hate Janice. Y'all hate Janice?
I don't hate Janice. I don't like Janice though, but I don't hate her. But I don't like her.
No. And so I would definitely say Gretchen. I really enjoy, this is probably the only time I'm going to say this, is Miss Norbury, because low key, I prefer Amy to Tina whenever they do things together. Amy Poehler is more my speed than Tina Fey.
Wow.
Low key, I don't think Tina Fey is funny by herself. So I'm going to say
hot takes. It is spiced. Okay.
So I'm definitely going to say Regina George's mom and Gretchen, and then Mr. Duvall.
Okay.
That's fair.
Wow, we got some overlap. I wasn't expecting this. Okay, Julie.
Okay. I was going to say Gretchen. I was going to say Regina George's mom. And I was going to say Janice. I like Janice. I like a little grouchiness.
Okay, Janice Hive.
Okay.
Like, who amongst us was not grumpy as a teenager and didn't take shit, their dislike for shit too far? Who among us?
Janice was just...
is the real question.
Maybe she didn't take it far enough.
If you think about it, she didn't really do that much. They kind of created a monster, and the monster got out of hand.
I agree.
Everybody says she's the villain. Like, I don't see her as a villain. I see her as somebody who was I said I didn't like it, and I don't.
I mean, low key, if you was out here telling people that I was a big old lesbian just because of like a misunderstanding at a sleepover, low key, I might be a little petty too for the rest of my life. But like,
I'm literally not
in what year would that have been? That would have been like 2000. Yeah, like, nah, you're threatening my life at that point. Niggas was not accepted.
With the
also, that kind of thing in high school.
Right.
That thing in high school is crazy because I feel like those kind of like rumors and stuff in high school, they get heavy. Get like having to show up every day. And I can only imagine what it's like being like a girl in that rumor mill. Like, that never lets you go. Like, they're always going to be like, that's the lesbian over there.
Yep. And they were in like a small town. They were in Evanston, Illinois.
Oh, is that where they were?
Like, it was going to follow everywhere. Not great.
The fact that I don't know where I thought they were. I don't think I remembered where they were, but the fact that they were, I don't know anything about. I'm so sorry if Evanston. I'm sure it's a lovely place. I don't know nothing about them, and I don't think of it as a big important city. And so the fact it's like the very like big fish, little pond energy. Mm-hmm. Like, y'all really was doing all of this for a high school in Evanston.
Yeah.
So
your daddy invented toaster strudel, and this where you lived.
That's crazy. You know, people who be inventing stuff don't be in like the big cities. They be. You know, like, who invented the hot fry? You think that they was just in like, I don't know, LA just inventing hot fries?
You know,
would be.
That's fair.
If I could be, I would be.
It does. I think it is a suburb of Chicago. True.
Yeah, it's got to be a suburb of Chicago.
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna circle back to who's the villain,
Oh,
who's the
no.
meanest mean girl, and all that stuff.
Okay.
But before we get to that, least favorite characters. I can start.
Ooh.
My least favorite character is Katie. I think that is obvious.
That's fair.
She fucking sucks.
That is
My
crazy.
least favorite character.
When you put it like that, though,
I'm not mad at that. I don't have any beef with that.
no, because
It's
every other
exactly what
character
Janice said. You were the only one who doesn't know that you're a mean girl. You still have this little cute innocent. You think that you're innocent, bitch. You're no better than the rest of us. And she had that. I just didn't like it.
Yeah, and I feel like every other character kind of had to work for, like they were working for that check, and every other character was working.
I agree. No, I really do agree. I also feel like, and this is no shade to Lindsay Lohan because I really do love Lindsay Lohan in so many different things. I don't feel like her character was that hard to play, and I feel like it was the least interesting one to play. And
that's how they all do, though.
I know, of course, the main character, that's Yara Shahidi's whole career. I'm so sorry,
very
Yara.
orange
I'm
is
so
black.
sorry.
No shade. Not Yara.
She's sitting at home with a twist out, wondering why she just got chills because she
How'd she
catching
get in
strays.
She wasn't even in it. She said, I literally have not done, I'm minding my business.
She's sitting at home with a twist out, wondering why she catches strays. Please, enough.
That is
But
crazy.
I mean, I really like Yara, but like she always plays the character where I'm like, this, you know, like, well, this gave very much nothing. And also Orange is the New Black, like you just said, Jewel.
Yes.
Chaplin, is that her name? Is that her name, Chaplin? Piper Chapman. I'm like, also, you gave very much nothing. The least interesting one to play, and that's Katie. And
it's very much about the ensemble in those situations. Like, yeah, poor Yara, because it's very true. Sorry, girl. But it's very much about the ensemble. Like, the people around typically are the ones that are more liked. And once they start falling off, you really realize, like, it's the same thing, low-key, can be said about a lot of shows. Because when Denise... she wasn't really carrying. She wasn't really carrying the show, baby.
That's true. Denise didn't carry.
That's right, about Denise's fucking character.
Did they do that on purpose?
Maybe. Because everybody else was working on that cast, and then you had the Huxtable.
You never even hear about Denise on that show. Like, if you didn't watch the show, you might not know that she was on it. You might not know that it was a spinoff. You might not know nothing.
That's crazy. But yeah, for Mean Girls, I feel like you could take Katie out of it, and it would still be a good like movie. Like the conversation would still go forward. So I say for that reason, girl, I'm sorry, Lindsay, but your character is the worst one.
Yeah.
Because you kind of need everybody else. Like, you could find anybody else in that school to give a makeover to and be like, go infiltrate. She didn't really do anything special. I feel like, if anything, she was unlocked. They, like, unlocked the mean girl in her. But you can do that with any girl at that school. And they probably, to be honest, would have been easier to activate because they would have had more context into Regina, being that they lived there.
Well,
that's true.
I was going to play devil's advocate and say I do think there is some benefit to bringing in someone who is not a part of that world and doesn't understand that. Now, did she need to be a white girl from Africa who maybe not. No. She could have just came from the town down the street from a different high school. Like, we didn't need to, we went too far. But I do think that like having her come into this world, there was like a benefit to that because we got to, like, I think that perspective was useful.
That's fair.
One thing I will say that I feel like maybe would have made her character a little bit more interesting is, I think in the beginning of the year, I went to see the musical in LA.
Me too.
Oh.
And the musical's plot is more about, it pulls more of the Africa. Like, they literally spend more time comparing Katie's experience with animals in the wild to the girls in the school, which they do, I think, twice in the movie. Once in the mall.
Yeah, it's like very,
But that, I think, made her character more interesting because she was literally going into every situation like, oh, I have experience with this because I know tigers. And it was kind of like, girl, that is literally not how people work. But that made her character more interesting, is like, she would be like, oh my God, this is just like when the elephants. But in the movie, they didn't really do a lot of that, which defeated the purpose of her being from Africa. Like, they really dig into the Africa thing in the musical.
I ain't gonna hold you. I didn't tie the pieces of them bringing in like like when she jumps across the table and they like do the animal sound kind of like imagery. I didn't put two and two together that that's what they were trying to do there until this very moment.
Like they tried in the movie, but that wasn't.
I don't think they really tied it together as well as you're describing it.
Mm-mm.
Interesting.
The musical was fucking fantastic too. Like I wish I had direct access to watch that, like how we used to be watching the Tyler Perry plays.
Why people don't be bootlegging plays no more?
Yes, like someone recorded it. I really wanted to record that while I was watching it so bad because it was so good, and it gave
people
way
need
more
to get
depth.
back on there.
It gave way more depth to so many characters. It gave depth to Karen. It gave depth to Gretchen. Like, it really just explained them a little bit more. And I was like, oh, this is fucking fantastic. And Karen was played by a black girl. It was all really good. It was very good.
I was going to say, I think she's not my least favorite, as in I don't like her. I just felt, I wish they gave Karen more.
Yeah.
And
yeah. Mm-hmm. She is one of my least favorite because she had nothing going on.
Because she gave nothing. She had nothing. There was nothing.
The movie would have been the same without her for sure. Like, if you got rid of the character entirely, fine.
I didn't even dislike her character. I just wish they would have gave us more.
Yeah. I feel like you in this like situation, you always need the quote unquote bimbo though. Like you need the pretty one that's not smart. Is always so like she served her purpose, but was it needed? No. But there's always that one where you're like, you don't know why she's really popular because she don't have nothing going on, but she's cute. Because with like
true.
The other two, like Gretchen was not dumb. She was smart and she was playing herself down because she knew that she could not necessarily overtake Regina. And Regina was just a regular girl who was cute. So she wasn't like dumb. She wasn't too smart. You know what I mean? But then you actually had Karen, who was like two shorts right on the happy meal up there.
Damn. She's so sweet. What a sweet girl.
A poor girl.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful girl.
I mean, I don't disagree with that sentiment. I just still think you could have added, even the bimbo character can have some depth. We can have something.
Because literally, even the side characters had more. That coach who was sleeping with the student that was involved in that, like they literally, even the side characters had a little bit more going on than Karen, and that's actually crazy.
Oh, Karen, that's wild.
Let's caveat real quick. The portion in the film where the two Asian girlies who are sleeping, who are both sleeping with the coach, when they're having that come to Jesus moment in the gymnasium and they're speaking in their native language and they translate at the bottom of the screen.
Oh.
And one of them says, "Nigga, please." Huh? What do you mean? What do you mean? I laugh every single time. Because sometimes they cut it off, like in the TV version. Sometimes it won't say "nigga, please." It'll say "girl, please." But in the DVD version, it says "nigga, please," and that shit takes me out every time.
I was talking to somebody today about the fact that I was going to do this podcast, and I was like, I feel like Mean Girls is one of those movies where there are quite a few jokes or moments that would not make it in 2023.
Oh, truly.
And unfortunately, I'm going to stand beside it. Like, I'm not letting that movie go.
I'm going to stand beside it.
Unfortunately, I hate to say it, I ain't letting it go. I'm not coming up off Mean Girls.
There's no way you have a movie where the main character is a white girl from Africa and you don't have problematic jokes in it. Like, there's no way you can. I think it came out, though, because a lot of people who who speak the alleged language that was in the script have come out and said that didn't even translate to "nigga, please."
What did it translate to?
That it wasn't like it just was like not
unintelligible.
Yeah.
I thought so. I didn't want to be wrong, but when you were like their native language, I was like, I don't know that was a language. I don't know. I don't know that it was. Yeah,
that's because people came out. Because people came out against Tina Fey not recently, but semi-recently about that being like she literally put that in there just because she wanted to get nigga in the movie, but like that wasn't like any language where it was necessary. So on top of having two non-niggas say nigga, it wasn't even translated from an actual.
Wow, that's sick. And see, this is why I didn't specify what language it was, what ethnicity the girlies was, because I said I didn't research all that. I'm not about to be on here loud and wrong. And now Tina on here talking about "nigga, please" unnecessarily with unintelligible fake languages. You hate to see it.
I mean, is it funny though?
It was funny. I will say I did laugh at nigga please. The thing is though, I just didn't know it wasn't a language. Now that I know it's not a language, it has different context. But when I thought it was a language and that they really did say that, it was funny. Anyways.
Also, I want to point out that I think in 2004, if people had pointed this out, most people would have been like, so, like, I don't think people would have been like, that's
Definitely.
not cool. You know what I mean? I think people would have been like, the joke still you know what I mean? Well,
Definitely.
I mean, yeah, you're right. You're right. You're not wrong. So, yeah.
Good on you, Tina, I guess.
Yeah.
Wow, what a time. 2004 was 20 years ago. Next year, that'll be 20 years.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Oh, Lord, I'm sorry, Sequoia. Go on.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Meanest, mean girl. I've seen a lot of debate about this online, and so I want to get y'all's thoughts. I have thoughts, but I don't know if I want to share them first as to, I don't want to persuade y'all toward anything. I just want to get y'all's thoughts on who y'all think would be considered the meanest of the mean girls. And that includes like Janice or Damien or, you know, whomever else too.
I feel like a lot of people would say Janice, but
I wouldn't say Janice.
I think it's actually Katie.
Yep, that's what I was going to say. I was going to say Katie.
She didn't really have a real reason. Like it's kind of like you in those situations where you get mad at somebody who's mad at you. Like that's very much what it was giving. It's like you swooped into this world, tried to take this girl's man, even if she was juggling this man back and forth and cheating on him. Like you kind of came into this world and tried to steal a spot, and then was like trying to seek revenge because she got mad at you for trying to like step into her zone. Okay. So I feel like, because when you think about the other girls, like they was just living their lives. Like I don't even think Regina was low key that mean. Like if you think about like mean people in high school, she was like nasty, but she wasn't like, you know what I'm saying? And the other ones, they definitely wasn't giving mean. Like Gretchen couldn't be mean on her best.
Gretchen was not mean. Please,
Katie probably and what's her name? Karen can't even define mean.
Karen was not mean at all.
Yeah. Please, not too much on Karen. I think the issue with Katie for me is like, I don't know. And I get that they were in high school, so I'm not saying they knew 100% they were like who they were fully realized people. But I felt like Gretchen knew who she was. Like, and she played her role. Like she knew that she was like dumbing herself down, but she was like clear on who she was. I feel like so was Regina. I feel like Katie didn't know who the hell she was. And that's why I would consider her to be the meanest, because I think those are the most dangerous, like people who just doing shit because the wind blow one way or the other. Well, you know what I'm saying? Like you just doing it because you think it's cool, because you think like you can, like it that. Yeah, I would put her there.
Okay, I hear that. And I have similar reasoning, but I have a different person that I landed on given that reasoning.
Oh no.
I would argue that the meanest mean girl is in fact Regina, because she was the only one that was mean without a cause at all. Like Katie was trying to fit in. She was a new student. She just met these two people and she's like, well, I guess this is what they're telling me to do. They told me to ditch class. I knew that was wrong. They told me to do this, but like, I know that's probably not great either, but like, I want friends. I'm new to America overall, whatever. I see her cause. Do I agree? No, but I see the cause. For a Janice, obviously she's trying to get back at Regina for some 8th grade trauma. That's real trauma. I'm positive. For a Gretchen, she was also mean out of a desire to belong. She just like screams wildly insecure all the time. I feel like we all know a girl who's like a Gretchen. And I'm like, I feel bad for Gretchen. I'm like, ugh, like my heart aches. Like you just don't feel like you're good enough. And that's why you accept being the beta to this quote unquote alpha. And I hate that for you. And then we have Karen, who's simply not mean. That's it. Like she doesn't even count because she's just not mean. Regina did not have a fucking reason. There was nothing that they told us.
She did.
Aside from the fact that her parents don't sleep in the same bed anymore, but that was said very in passing and never really alluded to like anything. But like, I'm like, what the fuck is Regina's reason for calling Taylor Waddell's mom and being like, oh, Planned Parenthood called, she has her fucking results? No reason. She was just fucking mean.
She was a teenager. She was just a teenager.
I feel like Regina was mean. Yeah, I feel like she was mean because she was maintaining her status at the top of the
It was
Like,
power.
that
It
is
was
a
just
reason.
power.
That's
It was
a
only
reason.
power. But it's like a reason
Maintaining
as
power is
like
a reason.
a dictator has, you know what I mean? Like, you're just mean. You're just a bad person. The rest of them, I'm like, y'all are kind of redeemable.
You know,
That bitch, though, I don't know.
it's
I don't know
crazy
about
though
her.
because I would have rocked with Regina. I knew she would have been talking hella shit about me behind my back, but we probably would have rocked with each other in school because that's just what people did in school. But when you grow up, you kind of get
I
out
ain't
of
got no
that.
beef with Regina. I don't feel like she
But
bothered no. I mean, she did
I don't
bother
know.
people,
I
but
was
I feel
also
like she
low key a
bothered
bully
people
in
when
school,
her
so
power was
there's that.
threatened.
No, she didn't. She did it even when her power was not threatened. That's the whole thing. Like,
Well, I
why?
guess that's true.
Why did she just did it? She was just mean. She was
She
compulsively
was
mean.
authentic, Sequoia. She was staying true to who she was.
Sure.
Everybody else in there was going along to get along. And you know
Sure.
what she said? She said, "Baby, this is me."
Yeah,
I
she
think it's
did.
because you've never been a dictator, and that's fair. But I think you assume that dictators only do something when their power is imminently threatened. But what you're missing is that their power is always threatened. And so they always have to do things. And it might not seem like there is an immediate reason to do the thing, but their power is always threatened. They always have to like remind niggas who they are.
I totally get that. I think the issue more so that I have is the rest of them are coming from a place of attempting to get justice, I would say. Like, it's like, Katie wants this boy and she feels like she deserves him more than Regina, and Regina doesn't deserve whatever. This is her version of justice. Gretchen doesn't think that Regina deserves to be better than her. This is her version of justice. Janice, has her version of justice, and Regina just doesn't have one. I'm like, there is nothing that's unjust. There's nothing unjust going on with Regina. There's nothing unjust. She is the unjust party. She is the unjust party. She is the dictator. She's the reason why everybody has to do something, why everybody has to scramble, because she's the problem. She's the top. She's the issue.
I just think it's because all Regina has is high school. That's her thing.
But that's all of them. None of them bitches have nothing else.
Not like Regina's though.
Exactly, because if Gretchen was to stand up in her own, I feel like was the wealthiest of them, toaster strudel parent.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? Like she was honestly the one who should have been leading the charge. She just her back was a little. She had that Quasimodo spine. She was not standing strong. Like she ain't have it in her. She did not have it in her. I feel like if you think about high school, though, there's always that one person. Like if it wasn't Regina, it was going to be somebody. There's always somebody, and she was the people's queen, and she had to keep that top spot, or everything would go to hell.
Power. She's never going to have that power again. That is her power. Totally. These 4 years is the time that she's going to have this. She can't let that go. It's all she has.
I'm just saying the rest of the reasons, while I don't agree, I'm like, sure, I see how you arrived here. Regina, I'm like, you did this to yourself. Like, this is all like you. It's you, babe. You're the worst one. You're bad. You're bad.
I'm a rock with her though.
Yeah. Now, do I think? I don't know. Another thing about me, I always liked the villain. I always liked the mean girl. Mm-hmm. That's who I've always been, my whole life.
They be having points.
Because you're not going to bully me. I know that. I can promise you. So Regina was never going to be an issue for a nigga like me personally.
Here we go.
So it probably was going to be fine.
She wasn't a problem for any of the niggas that was in the movie. Period. That's why you only saw them at lunch.
Right.
Because she knew better she knew better than to go to Little Africa. Trying to
your reach does not extend here. We don't pay you no attention.
It was very much given Lion King, and you cannot go over into where Scar is because they do not.
Wait, Little Africa? My high school really had an area called Little Africa where all the black people hung out.
No, it didn't.
Yes, it did.
Claire, why lie?
No, I'm not lying. It did.
That's insane,
it was called Little Africa. That's where all the black people.
How did that make you feel?
Let's unpack.
We'll unpack that.
Because you probably was cool with it.
That's crazy.
She'd be like, Little Africa.
Where y'all gonna be at today?
Was like, yeah, I'm in Little Africa. Meet me over there at 5.
We did used to use it as like a point of reference. Like it was like, yeah, I'm at the lunch tables in Little Africa. Or it would be if you were with where the white people are, you would be at Mount Everest.
It's giving Freedom Riders. You know that scene in Freedom Riders where it was, man, get me out of here. That is crazy.
You know that there are things that have racist roots that we have been a part of for so long that black people have adopted it. And now I feel like this is one of those
Little
things. They
Africa is
absolutely did not
crazy because
name,
I
no,
just know it
the
wasn't just
Negroes
black
did
people
not
saying
name it Little
referring to it as Little
Africa.
Africa.
Correct.
Oh no, babe.
But the fact that y'all
Yeah.
the fact that y'all adopted it and
Yeah.
decided that y'all was going to use it as a GPS marker,
Oh, how did you
I'm
guess
done.
Yep. The teachers called it that, like the
Oh
school staff.
no.
Toya, that's really enough. That's really enough. At some point, we do have to be serious.
You got Miss Johnson talking about, you see all them kids over there acting up in Little Africa? That's
Yep.
actually a fireable offense.
I swear.
Pack it up.
Not
Pack
a
up your
fireable
workbook and let's go, because that's crazy.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. They was really, yeah, they were probably very out of line for the Little Africa stuff.
Probably.
But yeah, that's how that went. Little Africa was the thing. So when you said it, I thought, oh, this is something that's across all schools. But no, you said that was.
I can tell you right now that at my black ass school, at
It
the
was
black
all
ass
gonna be
school I attended
Africa.
in
So
Southwest Atlanta, the whole school was Little Africa, baby. So now what?
I'm also gonna point out,
How do you distinguish?
I went to school my particular high school was in the hood, and so I would say it was probably 50% black, 50% other kids, like a mix of Asian, Pacific Islander, Latinx, white was probably the other 50%, and still Little Africa remained, even
they
as the
really
majority.
tried to
Little
humble y'all.
Africa remained. Okay.
Humbled y'all real quick.
They said, I know y'all not about to get out of line on us.
That's
Stay in Little
crazy.
Africa where y'all belong. Anyways.
You really have to be serious.
Yeah, I was being serious. Okay, iconic lines from Mean Girls. One gotta go. We're gonna play a little one gotta go, okay? You can walk home, bitches. The limit does not exist. I'm a mouse. Duh. Which one gotta go between those three?
I'm a mouse.
I'm a mouse, duh.
Really? Wow, I thought y'all was gonna say the limit does not exist. Oh my god.
No,
Okay.
because that can be
I can
used in
use
so
the
many
other two in
areas.
other scenarios. Yeah.
Okay. Moving on. Get in, loser. We're going shopping. Ooh, you whore. Gretchen, stop trying to make fetch happen. It's not going to happen.
You put three
I think I'm
bad
gonna have to
bitches
let go
together.
of fetch, and that's gonna really hurt my feelings because as you know, I'm a Gretchen Wiener stan.
Damn. Yeah.
And I do want fetch to happen on behalf of Gretchen.
Same.
So yeah, I'm gonna go with Boo You Whore and Get In Loser. We're going shopping.
Damn. I'm gonna have to do the same one there because they're all. I feel like those are the three that I feel like are probably the most used.
Iconic.
Because those are just iconic. The fetch one, the delivery of that line, she shot at her. She cut her deep with that. She looked at her like,
cried.
She's like, why are you doing this? Like, we have talked about this. Let that shit go.
Let that shit go.
I've worked really hard to make this a moment, and you sitting here telling me it's never going to be a moment. I'm crying.
And in front of mixed company. And you put me in my place in front of.
Like, why would you do that?
Like the new
this
girl
is all
just saw
all
that.
I got is fetch. Fetch is all I got. And you gonna sit here and say that? I just think that's so wrong.
What's crazy too is like even after the movie, fetch still never happened. Because if you think about it, that was the time for it to shine. That was the time for all of us to start saying fetch. Nobody. Fetch never happened.
I believe
because I was not about to be the bitch getting embarrassed when some bitch
fetch.
Right. She said it wasn't going to happen. Okay. Well, excuse me. So I wasn't gonna be the one to catch it on.
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start posting TikToks and all my hashtags gonna be fetch.
And people gonna be like, "Is this part of dog talk?"
What kind of millennial foolishness, girl? You're too old for this app. Get off this app. Get off the app. We don't want you.
I'm like, oh, this is hashtag dog talk.
Right. Wow. Who knew the dog talk? Right. Very much that. Okay.
So hashtags. Well, you're done. Go on.
I have another set. Okay.
No.
You can't sit with us. She doesn't even go here. On Wednesdays, we wear pink.
On Wednesdays,
we wear pink has to go.
Damn, it was that easy?
Yeah, because you can't sit with us. I use that all the time. Truly. That is.
And I say she doesn't even go here like it's. I mean, hello.
This movie is so quotable.
It is so quotable. I have some.
I say she doesn't even go here.
She doesn't even go here? Okay.
Yeah.
I have some honorable mentions that are also very quotables from this movie. that just didn't make this list. That's why her hair's so big. It's full of secrets. If you're from Africa, why are you white? Raise your hand if you've ever been personally victimized by Regina George. You want to do something fun? You want to go to Taco Bell? And then the response, I can't go to Taco Bell. I'm on an all-carb diet. God, Karen, you are so stupid. Love that one so much. I'm sorry that people are so jealous of me, but I can't help that I'm popular. 4 for you, Glen Coco. You go, Glen Coco. That's one that really should have made the real iconic list. That's a real iconic one. Hell no, I did not leave the South Side for this. I love that. That's a very funny portion of the movie to me. And it's not my fault that I have a heavy flow and a wide set vagina.
I was waiting because if it wasn't gonna be on the list, I was gonna be mad.
That's to wrap it up.
To the girls with the heavy flows and the wide set vaginas.
It's the pointing for me.
Not me, but it's not me. But I do want to shout them out. They do need representation.
Gang. Thank you.
Somebody in that writer's room said representation matters.
100%. A super jumbo tampon. I'm gonna need it. I'm gonna need it the first few days. I'm gonna need it the first few days of the cycle every time. So I
would be depressed. I would actually be face down every single month.
Not you would be depressed if you had my issues. I hate it.
If I had to have a jumbo, face down every day, every month.
She said that sucks for you. She said that really sucks for you. I hate that you have to do that. Wow. Thank you, Jewel.
I am breaking out into a sweat. Jewel's face is like,
Will is like, how did I get here?
I'm done. Okay.
But those are all quotes. I feel like there's so many that are like left off because you have the like, I'm a pusher, Katie. Like there are just so many. The like fugly, like there are just literally so many quotable things. You can literally just look at this script and go, I'm going to start saying that.
Like the punch up on this script had to be crazy. Whoever went back through that, it's probably Tina Fey who went back through it and punched this shit up. They really punched it up. It's funny. It is so funny. And it holds up so well for the most part.
Yeah. You can put this movie on no matter how many times you watch it, and it's going to be like the first time. You're going to laugh at this shit. Like it is the first time.
It is
like
amusing.
What did they? I forgot. There was something about like seeing a teacher in the mall, and they made that a joke.
It's like seeing a dog walk on its hind legs. Oh my god!
Like this script. Like I want to just sit down and read that script. And just laugh.
Yeah, it's good. It's really good.
Yeah, that is a really good one. Okay, favorite scenes in the show.
Probably the gym scene.
Mm-hmm. The gym scene where they're all discussing their issues amongst the cliques, and Miss Norberry's trying to gather the girls, and Mr. Duvall tried at first and he couldn't do it.
Mr. Duvall in this tank top with his baseball bat is killing
oh my
me.
God! And the cast on his hands, he was killing.
What did he say? We will keep you here all night. We can only keep you till 4. Like that is.
I will keep you till 4.
Icon. Oh my God, this movie is great. I'm about to watch this movie at the end of this.
Yeah, I like that scene a lot.
Regina standing at the end of that hallway, watching the chaos that she made, just looking so approving of the drama that is an iconic villain moment. Yes. She walked through that hallway, tossing those papers like she was a flower girl, and then stood at the end of the hallway untouched. Nobody was coming for Regina. She stood there untouched.
She did.
That is icon.
Yeah.
She did.
We also have to give praise where praise is due, aka to Regina George's little sister and the milkshake moment, the iconic.
Oh, this is the parenting Sequoia stands.
Oh my God! Wait,
Sequoia stands. I just want to point that out there because I said be a mom who your children talk to, but don't take it too damn far. And Sequoia's like, take it all the way.
Oh my God! Because
as long as she's doing it at home,
the little girl was watching Girls Gone Wild and flashing her prepubescent whatever the hell. Like, oh my God. It was a mess.
Girl, I just personally think that is an iconic scene. That little girl flashing the screen and watching and listening to Milkshake.
Yeah.
Just a child with no guidance. Fun.
That is crazy.
The mom was too worried. The mom was too worried about her teenage daughter. She was like, the little one probably not getting into nothing crazy. I really got to pay attention to this big one. She got narcissistic tendencies. I got to watch her.
Not this big one.
Meanwhile, the little one is watching Girls Gone Wild and lifting her shirt up. It's crazy.
Some will say the youngest one probably gonna be the worst. Regina
100%.
Regina
The
was
babies
just,
are always the worst.
but that youngest one, who at that young age is already flashing, oh baby, she about to give you hell as a
The
teenager.
thing about the babies too is they're usually the sneaky ones. So like
Yeah.
the oldest ones are usually the ones that are like, yeah, I did it. And the babies are usually the ones that are like, I don't know I have no idea what you're talking about, knowing damn what I just did it. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
The
that baby,
babies are the ones you gotta watch.
that milkshake dancing little girl, she might be bringing home a
Yeah,
pregnancy
you gotta
test that's
watch her.
positive. It's okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you know what's crazy? Regina's mama gonna welcome that pregnancy.
I'd be on Team Mom. I would watch it too.
She wouldn't be upset that her daughter's pregnant. She'd be like, "Well, thank you for letting me know."
Yep. Yep.
That's crazy.
Yep. Yep. I want to say I respect it, but I don't know. Unclear. I have to get back to you on that.
Well, what you said earlier.
I forgot there was another child involved, and that child is in grave imminent danger. I feel she's being neglected. She's not being watched close enough, and now I'm concerned. I don't know. We might have to watch Miss Amy Poehler a little bit closer. My favorite scene is the winter talent show scene because it just has so many different iconic things happening in the scene. We have Damien singing Beautiful by Christina Aguilera, Don't Look at Me, getting hit in the face with the shoe. You have Kevin Napour's rap, All You Sucker MCs Ain't Got Nothing on Me. And you have the iconic thigh slap.
No, I thought you were talking about the mama.
You have the iconic thigh slap during Jingle Bells Rock and the little moves, and the mom watching them doing the shit too. It's just so much going on in that scene.
Chaos.
That is Mean Girls. That scene is the scene that I think of when I think of Mean Girls. So that is my favorite scene from that show.
The adults in the Mean Girls universe all need to be at CPS because
I want everybody.
Y'all letting these teenagers do this song every year with this choreo.
I want everybody to get HR rights up because
they all need to go see the people.
We really got to rethink some things for sure. Like everybody, and get your tubes tied. Vasectomies for everyone.
Like they literally, there's no way you got all these mom pa's sitting in the audience seeing that thigh slap year after year, which means they were younger doing it the first time. Yeah. They are now close to the end of their school, so that means these were ninth graders, love. Yep. Ninth graders, thigh slapping and doing a sexy routine, and y'all just in the audience like.
Yep.
I think that's the thing that fascinated me the most about Mean Girls. Again, I would have been in middle school when this came out. And I vividly remember in middle school, we couldn't even wear a snowman t-shirt to school because they said that Jeezy had convinced them that every snowman meant cocaine.
Shut the fuck up, Jewel.
I want to move. I need to move. I want to.
I'm serious. Was that not y'all's experience?
Cut the camera.
We're not from Atlanta. No, we don't live in Atlanta.
No, but seriously, I thought that was nationwide. No, I think it was.
So I think between this and Little Africa, I'm dead.
I'm actually not kidding. In the comments, y'all leave a comment and confirm, please. This is no, I'm serious. This was nationwide. Nationwide, they banned. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Nationwide, they banned can't ban the snowman. You remember he said can't ban the snowman. They banned the snowman from schools because
please enough.
We were advocating for cocaine.
It's your turn to be serious. It's your turn to be fucking for real.
Yeah, and I bet y'all I'm going to send links when I get off this phone because I'm not playing. It was banned nationwide.
Send links to publications that are not local Atlanta publications, please.
No, why would I send that? Jeezy had the snowman banned nationwide. Can't ban the snowman.
And look, I'm letting you know, in Detroit right now, you could have said can't ban the snowman, and we would have said, okay. What's wrong with
literally said.
We would have said, okay.
In LA, yeah, I don't want to say we didn't know who Jeezy is. We obviously know who Jeezy is, but it was never no lore, nothing deep. Ban the snow, like nothing of the sort. I thought you was going to say you couldn't wear a snowman because it alluded to Christmas, which was too religious for a secular school.
No, and to make matters even worse, for a while, I don't think we could wear like Jamaican colors because they were like, it's giving Rastafari and it's giving weed. And I was like, this feels...
I think feels racially motivated.
Okay.
That's race.
We're taking it too far,
not okay.
Guys. We've taken it too far. I swear to God. Like,
I just looked it up. There's a whole complex article about this. That's crazy.
What?
Validate me.
That's actually
Validate
insane.
me.
It did say they said the shirts were being worn countrywide.
What?
And
That's
what did I say?
insane.
Nationwide. Did I say nationwide?
You did
We're
say
so
nationwide is
crazy.
on your side. You did say that.
I know
I'm
I said
sure.
nationwide. There's no man's was banned. That's what I said.
Okay.
Now maybe y'all, if y'all wasn't up on hip hop, just say that.
Ooh,
That's crazy. Hey,
If y'all wasn't up on it,
I was
you
up.
know what?
I wasn't that up. But maybe I was a little bit
Clearly.
up.
maybe
I
y'all
don't know.
wasn't. Maybe y'all ain't
I
trying to wear the
I
same.
don't
They
even know
said
what the
that's.
shirt looked like. I
I'm
ain't
telling
seen
you, I
that
couldn't
one.
even point it out if my life fucking depended on it. I don't know.
They
Okay.
said it's. They said that's no. That's cocaine.
It's crazy.
Okay. We're moving on. The Lebanese lesbian joke.
Is that true?
The Lebanese lesbian joke that the entire movie is based on. So, a TikToker by the name of Sabrina Elise posted a TikTok explaining that Regina mentioned that in 8th grade, she didn't want to invite Janice to her pool party because she thought she was a lesbian. Then at the end of the movie, Kevin Napor asked Janice if she was Puerto Rican, and she answers, "No, I'm Lebanese." The entire premise of the movie is based on the fact that in 8th grade, Regina did not understand the difference between lesbian and Lebanese. I was unaware of this for a very long time. I have to say, until maybe like a year or two ago, I had no idea. And it's crazy that this movie still holds up without that tie-in. It still holds up just as much. And when you add that little tie-in, it's like, is this the greatest movie of all time? It really might be.
It's iconic.
I saw that on TikTok today, and I actually was like, "Is this real? Is that true?"
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
That's crazy.
The power of good writing. Okay.
Like shit.
Because to come back to that at the very end of the movie, like that is one of the final moments we get. And to just slide that in there, like that lets you know that they even felt like if you get it, you get it. If you don't, the movie's still gonna rock.
They did, and it did. The movie still hit, whether you got it or not. And most of us didn't. According to TikTok, most of us didn't get it.
I didn't until I saw it. I was like, wait, that's because why did that matter? Because I was like, when he asked that, I was like, okay, like y'all just trying to connect because you found a person of color or something.
Right.
Like, what's going on here?
Right.
I missed it.
But it was hilarious. Like watching it with that new context, I'm like, oh, something else for me to laugh at.
Yeah.
Like just another joke. I'm like, is there something else we're missing? Give me more things to laugh at in this movie.
And
I want more.
Funny. And it is funny. They did
That's
good.
Although I would have, despite the drama, this is a school I would have loved to be enrolled in. Like I might have lied about my address if this was not in my district just to go to this school. Because let's get into these kids were in that school. Everybody was a cool teacher. Like everybody was one of those cool teachers in this school. Even the principal, he wasn't good at his job. But I would have rocked with that school. I maybe wouldn't have learned nothing. I would have definitely not been on the standard for any standardized test. None of it.
No.
But would I have had a fantastic 4 years? Possibly.
No. Teenagers are frightening, and they shouldn't run anything. And I think that if I was at a school that was run by the teenagers, I would have been terrified.
Yeah.
But you would have been one of the teenagers, Joel.
No,
and you would have been untouched.
I'm always going to be in the corner, and I'm always going to be minding my business.
You would have been
now
untouched.
I'm looking around, and I'm like, who is in charge here?
You would have been untouched.
Why won't somebody be in charge? Yeah, I don't think I would have been in the mess. I would have just been looking like this is chaos. Who is in charge?
I mean, according to Tina Fey and Amy Poehler, we was at lunch the whole time because I ain't never seen nobody else from that table Unfriendly Black Hotties except at lunch.
That's so true.
That's
just
fair.
at
That's
lunch.
fair. That's true.
That sounds right.
True.
It do actually. I mean, if you think about it,
that tracks. As someone who my senior year of high school barely went to that bitch because I ditched and went to go eat at Wingstop all the damn time. Being away at lunch definitely sounds
not
correct.
For Wingstop.
Or okay. We went to Wingstop, we went to IHOP, we went to anywhere that was nearby. We just pop out, not really return. We was having a good little time. That tracks. That tracks.
That sounds like a good time. That's the best part.
We did senior skip day at IHOP when they called the principal.
You did it at IHOP too? And they called the principal.
We was in there cutting the food because I think people was dining and dashing. We was in there loud. We were disturbing the other customers. And we had our high school like decals and stuff in the windows. So somebody called the principal and the principal said, "Tell them they got 15 minutes to be back here or everybody's suspended."
And I know y'all hightailed y'all asses right on.
We gotta go, y'all. We'll see y'all later.
I would have been pissed. I'm sitting here trying to eat my pancakes.
I'm just trying to have a good old. See, this what happens when nobody's in charge.
Because me personally, as a patron of IHOP, an adult patron, and a bunch of irritating ass fucking teenagers coming at bitch, I'm definitely calling. I don't know who I need to call. CPS, the police.
100%.
Somebody getting called.
Somebody's gonna come and get y'all because I'm sitting here trying to enjoy my pancakes, and it's the middle of the workday. I had no reason to believe that I would be interacting with children.
Y'all have to go. Y'all have to go.
Who the people that's supposed to check to make sure you going to school, you're not being truancy officers?
Like the truancy officers. Still exist? Yep.
What's the number? I'm like, what's the number?
And I'm gonna sit at the door like this and wait for them to come get y'all.
Oh God,
that's crazy. Who have we turned into? That is crazy.
Take
them
back to the school. Take them back.
The teenagers are fucking horrible. I really can't stand them. Speaking of unfriendly Black hotties, like I mentioned, over on the Patreon, we're going to give a potential cast list of this imaginary film, Unfriendly Black Hotties, that really should exist right now. So head over to the Patreon to listen to that portion. Is there anything else y'all want to say about Mean Girls?
Fantastic film. No notes.
No notes. Chef's kiss. Beautiful film. Beautiful writing through and through. Cast. Top to bottom. Agreed. Everything's great.
Now, what I will say is I am going to be intrigued because you know that they are making the musical into a movie. Because Renee Rapp, if you know who she is playing Regina. The girl who played Moana is, I think, playing Janice.
Something like that.
Oh.
And so they have started casting for the movie musical to be a movie. I'm a little intrigued because it is similar to the movie. They just have songs. So it is kind of like a remake with music instead of like a brand new plot, unless they do some new stuff in there. But I'm intrigued by that because I think that's going to eat. Because we're going to get a lot more backstory and a little bit more diversity. So I think that's going to be cute. Because they're not going to be saying nigga this time because Tina done learned. But it is going to be might have some niggas in it.
Has she?
I don't know. You know,
maybe on paper, maybe in the
we'll
limelight.
see. Let the chips fall where they may.
You know, we'll find out. We will know. Thank you for coming on, y'all. It was so good to have you both. Please let the folks know where they can find you and any projects you have coming up if you would like to share.
No projects because I'm just a regular old human being out in these streets. But I'm on the internet all the time on literally everything. I feel like I'm on every app that they keep releasing, even if they don't last. I'm there. But it's easy to find me because it's I am W Law on literally everything. Literally.
My social media is at Jewel Wicker Show.
Okay. She don't want to tell y'all about no projects. Okay.
What you want me to talk about?
And per usual, you can find me across all platforms at BPLP Pod. I'm on the TikTok now, so you can find me there on TikTok. I also have my own personal social medias across all of those platforms, the same as well, at Sequoia B. Holmes. You can email me at blackpeopleloveparamore@gmail.com with episode topic recommendations, hate mail, feedback, or anything else. Go join the Patreon. That's all I have. Goodbye.